That Thursday evening, Chris O'Neill and her twin 22-year-old daughters were in their Glenview Drive home when they thought they felt an earthquake.
And we thought it was the big one. Mary was in the family room, and Colleen and I were laying on the bed looking through the Nordstrom catalog. And then that happened, and I went, oh my God! And we jumped up. As we were running out, the house was vibrating like there were trains running underneath it or something. And as I came out the front door, there was stuff falling from the sky, and you could hear it falling almost like rain.
It was debris from the exploding gas line 100 yards away, which sent a searing flame overhead.
We didn't have to look back. We just had to look up, and it was above us. I didn't think we were going to be able to outrun it.
Mary, being a faster runner, got away, but Chris and daughter Colleen found their knees buckling as they stumbled to safety.
I kept rubbing my hair the whole time we were running because my head was so hot I thought my hair must be on fire. And I thought we were going to just naturally combust from the heat.
By the time all three had escaped, Chris found the twins suffering second and third degree burns to their arms.
Just, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then Colleen was saying, I'm burned, I hurt. And then we remembered that our cats were in the house, and that just...
saying that the whole time.
I know. And I thought, I've got to get these girls out of here. And so I felt like I had to say something like shocking. So I said, they're dead. The house is gone. We gotta go.
They got a ride to a friend's home where Chris called her husband Gene, who was on his way home from Oakland and could see the column of smoke.
You never think it's your house. You never think it's your neighborhood. It's your house. This time it was me. This time it was us, and we're just... wife and kids got out.
Which is why they consider themselves lucky, but that doesn't stave off the anger. Colleen O'Neill.
It's weird not having the privilege to go back to that house anymore. I can't even go and say this is my neighborhood.
That's because you feel like your identity is gone, Chris O'Neill.
You don't have your purse anymore, so when you go to get something, it's like we are constantly losing things because we can't remember where we put them because we don't have a place.
And even the routine is no longer that.
I go do something that I normally do, like I exercise at Curves. I leave Curves and I go home. And I'm driving up San Bruno Avenue and I think, I can't go home. There is no home.
Tomorrow we'll take a look at the unique neighborhood support network that embraced the O'Neills after the fire. In San Bruno, Quan, KCBS.
Fajitas? Yeah. All right.
It's dinner time at Kathy and John Fitzpatrick's modest San Bruno home. Every night since the fire, someone in the community has brought over dinner to feed not just the Fitzpatricks, but the newly homeless Gene and Chris O'Neill and their twin daughters, whose home was the last to burn on Glenview Drive.
If I need meals for the next 4 weeks, I can get them. I can call up my friends, and they will call other people.
Kathy opened up her 1,200-square-foot home to the O'Neills, running interference in the early days.
Sometimes you don't have the energy to be able to answer the door. I can buffer who they talk to because it was difficult for them to even talk to people because it's emotional, and sometimes by the end of the day at 5 o'clock you're exhausted.
They're part of an 8-family network that calls itself the Sunday Supper Club. For 20 years, they've potlucked once a month, watched their kids grow up together, even camp together each year. It was that closeness that would never let the O'Neills take shelter in a hotel.
I'm sitting here with a house. How could I not welcome them?
It began the night of the fire when the O'Neills' 22-year-old twin daughters were being treated for second and third degree burns. The supper club came to the hospital for support. Chris O'Neill.
And then we get to Kathy's house, and there's the rest of the Sunday Supper Club. They've been getting food and clothes, and we called it the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants because whatever I put on, everything fit me. It was amazing.
San Bruno's mayor calls the town old-fashioned in the way everyone knows their neighbor. The day after the fire, Chris and her daughters had no shoes, having escaped with literally the clothes on their backs. Kathy took care of that.
And I was able to run across the street to a neighbor and say, what size foot do you have? What size foot do you have? And she pulled out all of her shoes, and it worked out well. So there's just this whole, being there for each other.
In an age when few of us know who's living next door, Kathy says it's never too late to reach out. It's something she learned from her mother.
My father died when I was 1, and she taught us years ago, people want to give. The hardest thing to do is to accept. But once you can accept help, your life will open up and be enriched.
Tomorrow we'll visit what's left of 1110 Glenview, the O'Neill home, and look at the tough decision to rebuild. In San Bruno, Quan, KCBS. When his Crestmore Canyon neighborhood was going up in flames, Gene O'Neill could see the smoke as he drove home from Oakland. He would later discover his wife and 2 daughters who were in the house had escaped.
We are lucky. We are lucky, lucky, lucky.
But after the smoke cleared, what was left of his 3-bedroom, 2-bath home was the brick hearth, a rusting water heater, and 1,440 square feet of ash and debris.
We had a red kitchen with black and white checkered floor, and it just was It just was so cool.
Even on this, his 5th visit back to the scarred neighborhood, he searches for anything salvageable.
It's my old college yearbook. I guess I can get those somewhere else. It's the photos that you can't replace.
Demolition crews work home by home, flattening people's lives into an empty lot. It'll be Gene's turn soon.
When the county said, can we bulldoze it? I said, please go ahead and let the grass grow. Maybe the people who live here won't, every time they ride by, have to think about what happened here.
Daughter Colleen can't forget. She suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns on her arms as she bolted from the inferno. Nightmares allow her only 3 hours of sleep at a time.
They tell us, we'll make you whole again, and I just think, you can't give me my art portfolio back, the last birthday card from my nanny back, my cats. Those are the things I want.
She also wants her old perspective back.
I feel like it's made me a little bitter. I'm kind of paranoid now about losing things and not growing too attached to things.
It's that kind of mental anguish O'Neill refuses to subject his family to.
My wife cries herself to sleep every night. I'm just wondering, coming back here, if it wouldn't be too much for them.
His wife, Chris, who ran barefoot from her burning home, lost antiques, heirlooms, and her sense of security.
My friends, my neighbors, they said, if you rebuild, we'll rebuild. And at the time I said, we're going to rebuild. And they were so thrilled. And I'm going to have to tell them that, no, I'm not going to rebuild.
For Gene O'Neill and his family, the physical and mental scars may run too deep to reclaim what was once their home.
It'll probably be replaced by a better house. I hope the people who move in it are as happy as we were in this one.
In San Bruno, Holly Quan, KCBS.